So, top 13, top 12, I believe top 13 qualified. The rest chose not to, save about a lap or so on the first set of tires. Gonna see if there's anybody that's starting towards the rear that we're gonna have to keep our eye on early to make some headway quick and fast. But a lot of the contenders starting up towards the front, I would have to say, a lot of them qualifying and starting up towards the front of the field. Robert Amaro with a good qualifying position. When he can lay down a time, I would have to say Robert is a pretty decent qualifier, regardless. So good to see him starting almost inside the top 10. I believe he said 11th. Almost got a top 10 starting spot here for tonight's 200 miler here at Auto Club. Very beautiful track. Very, it's almost, it's just almost in the mountains of California. Well, in the Fontana Mountains, I guess, region you could say. Nice, beautiful track, big track, wide track. You could get 6-7 lanes wide. Might see that here tonight. 21 competitors in this field. You never know what you may get out of a BNR league race of any sort. So looked like Brandon Moore kind of walked up the track on the exit of turn 2, had to catch it, and when he did, possibly maybe straddled one of the seams. Oh, the 4 of Huntsacker in the wall coming out of turn 4. That's going to bobble up that outside lane just a bit. Sigston, everybody's getting jumbled back there. Everybody. That's kind of what happens when someone makes a mistake right off the start. Huntsacker's going to lose a few positions there. Oh, man, 4 wide. Wow. Everybody giving. Oh, yes. A big 2 lawnmowers in the infield there in turn 3 and 4. The 2 and not Joe Stipe. Not a caution. So Sanchez and Stipe had a coming together. Almost. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I kind of want to say almost doesn't surprise me. But back up here, we see Huntsacker trying to regain some progress. He has lost a ton of ground. I believe he was in 4th place when he smacked the wall. That is 8 positions lost, I do believe. So, Mio Mayo, you think he got a good start. He started in 2nd place, I do believe. So, yes, indeed, Zach and Zach battling for the lead yet again. Deutscher in the 31 Ford Mustang, and you got Rongich in the 88 Camaro. Brandon Moore, though, right there with Schaefer applying pressure to the front runners. Maybe when we get a caution or a break in the action, we can go back and, yes, the Jaden and Joe incident, the J&J. Well, I think all three of the touring national NASCAR series needs to go to North Wilkesboro. Mm-hmm. Yes, it looks like we got the top 8, maybe 9 right here all together. I want to say top 8. You did say trucks. Cars. They're cars tonight. So this is the top 7, actually. Jacob Carter is right behind him. He's coming with Kyle Heath. So they should be able to get up here and battle for all of this up here, all this track position. You got Ernest King and Skylar Sigston duking it out, going side by side, going into turn 1. Schaefer still in the coattails. Randy, ooh, really tight racing there, going through turn 2 there between the 19 and 23. 19's going to fall into the clutches of these two, though. And yes, Heath and Carter has caught this battle group. And, well, I said Heath did, but I think he just backed off again. Maybe conserving stuff here. Doesn't want to charge too hard too soon, perhaps. Oh, yes. Not even a quarter into the race. Yes, a lot of them are going to be handling loose and tight conditions. Really, all depends on what they had put their steering ratios to, their offsets, all that steering geometry. It's basically that's all you can do to these preset cars. They're all on the same setup out there, but you can adjust basically your steering ratios. So and another thing is some of these drivers were getting anywhere between 17 to 21, 22 laps of gas. So obviously we know some are going to be able to stretch it, go farther than a few others. Oh, wow, look at the power drift. Look at the drift. Did Skyler catch it, save it? Did he save it? Oh, wow, I believe he saved it. He saved it, but he lost a lot of ground. Wow. But he saved it. So far, just at lap 11, that's save of the night. Could have been a lot worse. Man. Marley the Wheel Man. Yep. Ernest was like, I didn't want to pass you like that. Nick Rader. Well, in Rader, I think we know who that is. That's old Nick Rader. Nick, unfortunately, not able to be here tonight. Brandon Moore right at the back door of Rongich. Those two have broke away from the rest of the field. Just 12 laps into this race. Well, as long as Deutscher can stay consistent and mistake-free tonight, I believe he will be the one to upset, if possible. Maybe Skyler. Skyler seems to have good runs at times, especially here at Auto Club. He has to be another one to be mistake-free. Everybody, most importantly, needs to be mistake-free, but just some do a better job than others, I guess you could say. Really unfortunate for Huntsacker, for him to ping the wall like he did, and he is all the way down in 16th position. And Joe Stipe and Jaden Sanchez haven't really gotten too far away from each other, but they are 22 seconds off the race pace at this moment in time when they wanted to do a lawn mowing excursion in turn 3. So oh yeah, Auto Club, very old abrasive surface, hasn't been repaved since initially laid down in 97, 96, 97, whichever year it was, one of those two. So pretty worn out track. You could see all of the sealant put down in some of the places on the track that just throughout the course of time, even the seams have kind of gotten a little bit wider, all the cracks and everything, but that's the best way to maintain a racetrack. Just keep trying to seal the gaps and cracks and everything until you absolutely have to repave it, just like what we saw with Atlanta. They did that for so many years until they just threw their hands up and said enough is enough. We finally have to repave it, but they didn't have to go. Anyway, I really hope and pray that Auto Club does not, I guess you could say, fall to the way that Atlanta did. Even Texas, all the rumors of Texas getting another reconfiguration here in the coming year or so. So that would be quite intriguing to see what Texas turns out to be, if it's going to be better racing than what it produces now or not. I think there are certainly a handful of tracks that at the moment doesn't really produce that much racing. Schaefer coming into the pits in that 23 machine. Looks like he is the first of the early pit stoppers, or the first. Yes. So 17 laps for some. Do we have 231 cars on the track? Right behind the other 31 car. I think it's James Selman. Oh my goodness, it is an 01. It just kind of looked like a 3-1, and when I got to actually see the 0, it's purple 01. It is all the colors playing tricks with me. Oh yes, very bumpy track, very bumpy indeed. Especially there's a lot of bumps in in the turns, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 I would say probably a little bit more bumpier than 1 and 2. You could probably be a better judge on that, but probably both sides might be equal, maybe one better than the other as far as which has the more bumps. Yes, very bumpy all around. I would say probably maybe the back stretch is more bumpier than the front stretch. Either way, I mean, it's still a bumpy ride around here. I was talking to a few drivers before I jumped up here with you, and Brandon Moore especially said he liked the way his car was handling in practice. No surprise when I heard he had the pole. So whenever he's feeling good and comfortable, confident in the car, the racecraft before the race, so that means to me that he's got it jotted down, and most definitely the pole man, Brandon Moore, gonna have to be the one to watch, as long as, like we just mentioned earlier, as long as he can stay mistake free. But he's Brandon Moore had a 14.8. You think Skyler did right side tires and gas? Yeah, he possibly might be a lap and a half down after that. Well, Zach Deutscher, excuse me, Sexton in 5th. Rounds out the top 5. Deutscher, he pitted before Brandon Moore, so it kind of makes sense to me that he would kind of undercut the race leader. I guess something must have happened to Schaefer. He must have been speeding because he's now a lap down, Brian. And Robert Amaral is out of the race. That is very unfortunate for Robert. Qualified very well. And yes, maybe Jim possibly got caught speeding or just something another. Like you said, really long pit stop, and just look where Schaefer would be if he didn't have some type of malfunction. He would be right up there with the race leaders, but he had the same thing somewhat happen to him. I do believe Schaefer might have a 3rd place, no doubt top 5 car, but just like we mentioned, I know we say stuff like we sound like we're a broken record or a skipping record, but gotta be mistake free. That is ever constant. Yes, you can be as consistent as you need to be or as you want to be, but you gotta get those mistakes out of your way, or not even make them part of your way. Just don't make them at all. But now that Zach Deutscher's got some clean air, got that track position, Brandon Moore can't really seem to get by with his fresh tires. So, not at the moment at least. Looks like he's trying a different line here at the moment, but Deutscher really using that high lane to perfection here. You can really see all the different lines that you can use. Auto Club, not really a one-lane track. You got lanes all over the place. Yes, feels comfortable. You can put it wherever you need. Oh yes, he's just really able to cut it down and almost get it right down to the bottom where he needs to get it, where he's trying to cut the car. But that high side, you can just see Zach maybe just pedaling a little bit with that throttle. He's not having to stay out the throttle as much as Moore on the bottom whenever Moore does these bonsai or kamikaze style type of charges. Nothing wrong with it, mind you. He has all the room in the world, I guess you could say, but it's all about possibly doing a slide job, how dirty of a slide job you want it to be, as we're going to see here coming off the corner. That's a really good maneuver, but Zach might try something here, but doesn't look like he's going to. I was going to say he might try to cross him up going into the corner, but he refused to do it. Well, I think Zach was, in a way, just waiting for him to pass him. Zach knew that he had the couple of lap fresher tires than him, so not really much he could fight with it, but I do believe he's got a good line going, riding that top line like he is. Kyle Heath moved up into the 4th position, so methodically coming up through the field as others may make mistakes or just different strategy of the sort, I guess you could say. Is there a truck race going on tonight? I know the Yankees are playing against the Twins right now. It's like 2-2 right now. Jacob Carter getting past Schaefer in the 23. I'm pretty sure he won the BNR truck race area. Yeah, Koking and Selden are having a great battle right there for 7th place. That's kind of the best battle on the field at the moment. We're on track. Until you get up to Kyle Heath and Jacob Carter, or was that? No. Sexton and Rognes, yes. That is not going to do him any favors whatsoever. That's actually going to hamper his momentum, slow him down. Here comes Selner and Koking on the outside. Who's in the pits? Hot second. You know, I think I put a T in there sometimes. Mounted that wall pretty nice, but as you said, got it back in gear, or not necessarily in gear, but got it back up to speed. Oh yes, it looks like it, most definitely. Jim is out of the race now. And Deutscher as well. He's just riding that top side. He's like, you guys do whatever you need to do. I'm just going to be here. I've been here for a long time. You cannot deter me from the spot. That is what Zach is saying. Heath and Carter, though, they've been fighting with each other since the start of the race, it seems like. Yes, second on back to fourth. So second, third, and fourth right there. One little battle cluster. And then right behind them, just a few seconds behind them, you got that other battle group that's going on. Looks like Stanley Jr. and Josh Smalls are having a tussle. Well, I think it's happening now. Just you had Huntsacker pit a bit early, and then Schaefer, he just pitted a lap ago or just a moment ago. So for sure, you are correct about that. Happening momentarily or in the next lap or so. You should start to see more drivers peel off. But everybody just about spread out except for the second and fourth place drivers there. Seems like there's a good battle going on with those two, but everybody else seems to have some gappage between themselves. Brandon Moore got a 2 1/4 second lead over Kyle Heath, who has worked his way into second position. Caution free at the moment. 37 laps into this. 37 laps into this race. And yes, indeed, Randy bringing the 19 down pit road. This might actually start the actual green flag sequence between most of your lead lap runners. Zachary Rongich brings that 88 down pit road for his scheduled pit stop. Stanley Jr. coming in as well. Tyler Myers in the one car, bringing the one car down. Looks like Skylar Sixton may be pitting this lap. Jaden Sanchez in as well. Oh, Sixton stays out. Zach Deutscher brings that 31 car down pit road. You can see the 4 closing in. Oh, that's Hunsaker with the fresh tires. My apologies. caution is out here for, I want to say, 31 and somebody else. Wasn't quite sure who it was. They were coming out and they just... I didn't jinx anything. Yes, it is coming out of the pits. Looks like Joe Skype and the 13. Oh. Oh, very unfortunate for what transpired. That is a lot of damage to the 31 car. Zach Deuscher. Hopefully he can get a quick fix and be just as good as new. Hopefully he doesn't feel anger to leave immediately like we have seen in the past with Zach. Yes, this is the incident that did not result in a caution. Oh man, maybe Joe didn't know Jaden was up there. He wanted to go up there. And lawnmowers they became. Oh, Deuscher is out of the race. Well, that makes 4 competitors out of the race now. It is slowly becoming a race of attrition. Yep, we were about 9 laps shy of the halfway marker. But 40 laps green flag.
Hello. Try not to die. Thank God. Before the lots, it was a little loosey-goosey here and there. After the lot, I have no idea because this will be the first fresh tires we took. But it felt like it was getting a little bit tighter as we was progressing. Got any what? Sorry.
Well, Jacob, what's the strategy? You gonna try to go for a decent lead, or are you able to break away from your competitors, Jacob?
The people that I'm right here with, I think I can. And then if Kyle Heath can stay back there a little bit longer, maybe I can.
All right, brave little engine. Here we go. Good luck, Jacob.
Thank you.
Yeah, we kind of looked at all the incidents that happened. We got a good look at both of the one earlier that did not result in said caution, and then one that did result in caution. Very just unfortunate. The apron can be a tricky thing trying to get up to speed. Joe, still relatively new to iRacing, and it's just something he's learning with, and Deutscher there. He had a race-winning contending chance here tonight, and just didn't feel like staying around any longer, I guess you could say. Had that Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch mentality. Get me on the jet plane now. Brandon Moore trying to get up to Carter. I believe Brandon Moore may have a thing or so to say as far as trying. Well, he was one of the drivers that got really caught out during this caution. Half the field had made their green flag cycle pit stop, and a handful of drivers did not. So this is kind of why we have a jumbled order at the moment. My goodness. Oh, Hunsaker looking to make it 3 wide going into turn 3. What a courageous move. Somewhat pulls a slide job up on Marley. Marley checks up for him. Very courteous for Marley to just be like, oh, Ernest had a problem. Ernest possibly slapped the wall coming out of turn 4. And he lost a lot of ground. He was in third or fourth place when he slapped that wall. And look at all the track position Ernie just lost. He's still losing. Oh, man. All right, Clint Boyer has joined me in the booth, ladies and gentlemen, and is stuffing his face currently. Yes. I only say it because love. I mean, what? So, Heath and Hunsaker having a good battle there behind Brandon Moore as they slowly work their way up to behind James Sellner. James Sellner is a second off of Jacob Prater. Everybody chasing Jacob Prater at this moment. Yeah, it's a shame we can't see it. Yes. Well, it's all about the way he diamonds the corner. He just kissed it. Very similar to what we saw earlier in the year with in the truck race. I can't remember who it was. It was Randy and somebody else, I think. Okay. I can't remember. Yeah. All this racing is doing is letting Jacob Carter just keep slipping away. Keep slipping away. Please stop. Yes, he pitted. He is very much off sequence to everybody. Yes, it's been a great fight for second on back to eighth, seventh. Yes, indeed, seventh. So all these drivers all up upon each other. Yeah, you can really see everybody's lifting points, braking points, where they have to turn in or turn towards the corner. Everyone's is different for the most part. You're not really going to find. It seems like forever. It oh no. Yeah, I was kind of holding my breath to make sure, whenever you pan back, make sure that Selner was still on the track. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to be turned into a lawnmower. But, yep, Josh having a good run tonight. Kind of, in a way, I was going to say, in a way, it was because of the caution that came out during the pit sequence, but maybe as well, just as you're saying, maybe him liking the track has a way of him running pretty decent inside the top 10 tonight. 7th at this moment in time. So Yes, everybody. Oh, I was just going to say everybody coming down pit road for their scheduled maintenance pit stop here between lap 57 to 62-ish. Maybe 63, we should see the pit sequence being completed because, you got some drivers that just like to stay out there just a little bit longer than the others, which is fine. It's okay. It's all part of the game. It's all about the game and how you play it. Anyway, Lemmy hated that song. Anyway, don't let Hunter hear you say that though. Or Paul, whatever you want to call him, whatever his name is. Um, yeah, whatever. Stage name. Um, Wrongich, or should I say Randy Coking, started this pit sequence. I would like to uh, point out. And then after that, Rongich came in. Then he was the one that kind of led, oh my goodness, led the cavalry charge onto the pit lane. I kind of like Sigston's strategy. He's like, I don't have to have fresh tires. I don't need, you know, I I can just make my tank go farther than everybody else. Sometimes I like that strategy, especially whenever you've only seen one caution so far of the night. Brandon Moore coming like Superman with the fresh tires. Should have said flying like Superman, not the other thing around. But anyway, you can see all of the garage stalls there. That is for MotoGP and IndyCar and all of the other different forms of motorsport that has raced here throughout the years. If anyone has ever seen a MotoGP as far as a Superbike North American Racing Series race from Auto Club, I think they're on YouTube. Go look them up. Give them a look. The infield course section, it's about a lane wide as far as like a car width, maybe a lane and a half, if that. The infield circuit is on is a raceable option on iRacing, but yeah, most of the cars on iRacing are too wide to do the Superbike layout. I've seen video of people trying it, and it's hilarious. But I used to watch on Speed TV or Speed Vision of the Superbike races that used to be held here, and I was always so amazed. I'm like, it's a multi-purpose facility. Oh, Randy's got some damage on that left side. I wonder if he got that in pit road or maybe coming in at some point. I think he came in by himself, or maybe he got that on the restart or something. That is a lot of damage on that left side. Into the handling equate. Another racing facility that NASCAR goes to as well, that is a multi-purpose built facility. Kansas Speedway, where they are this weekend, is a multi-purpose racing facility. The American Le Mans Series are the Rolex Sports Car Series. American Grand Am Series used to race at Kansas. I want to say they held 3 or 4 events there. Those can also be found on YouTube. Pocono is another track that there is a road section part as well. I don't really think it's all that too fun, but others do. The one interesting. Maybe he had a problem go awry. Oh, okay, that was the problem. Oh. Kyle Heath is one lap down. That is quite unfortunate for Kyle. He was having real good top 5 run earlier. He was, wasn't he in like second or third at one point? Wow. So maybe another something did happen wrong with Kyle Heath here tonight. Unfortunate. He was having such a good run inside the top 5 securely, and another slip up yet again. I think he had won the truck race, right? Something happened last week or something. I yes. Yes. What are you eating, by the way? I'm intrigued, and probably so is a couple of the viewers. They're like, man, he's eating. What you eating? Oh, okay, never mind. It wasn't that interesting. So, Wrongich and Sixton. Oh, Sixton had a big bobble coming out of turn 4. Really walked the dog up the track. He was looking to get by Wrongich, but man, he straddled one of those seams wrong. And hi-ho silver up the track it went. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. That would have scared me to death. Thank goodness I'm not driving that 57. And man, he makes a charge back. Look at him go. The 2 blue cars having a bout. Only because Sixton has the fresh tire. I don't know why I'm so excited. Oh, is that... well, yeah, that's a good reason. Huntsacker, wow, he's almost back up to where he started, which was in second position, but he has moved up to third. Don't know if he can get... What were you going to say? Yes, everybody. But only... I mean, we mainly like to see everybody have fun. And normally whenever you're racing side by side with somebody or just in a battle with them, normally that means they're having fun. Bridgman's back out of the race. What? He was having some internet issues earlier in the day. Maybe those have refestered and came back to light. Not too sure, but yeah, that's quite unfortunate for Philip. He thought coming into this, at least, you know, the week leading up to Auto Club, he was really looking forward to this place, but unfortunately, just not going his way tonight, along with a couple of other handful of his competitors. But, man, yep, we're kind of straddled out here. Everybody kind of got a gap to one another, just about. Big gap back to Jacob Brandon Moore, between Jacob Carter and Brandon Moore. 5.5 seconds is the gap over first and second place. And then you got Huntsacker being dragged along by Kyle Heath in that 54 Dasani water car. He is a lap down due to some problems that has came about. Wrongich, Selner, Small, Sanchez, Myers, and Coking rounds out the top 10. And looking back here at Ernest King and Stanley Jr., having a battle for who to be the last car on the lead lap at the moment in time, as they have reeled in Randy. As we have aforementioned, Randy got a lot of damage somehow or another on that left rear quarter, and that may be acting as maybe ill handling or big giant parachute. something of the sorts, really getting that spoiler up in the air, and you don't want it up in the air. And as we can see, Randy has become that person last on the lead lap. Hate to see it, but yep, Jacob was complaining earlier. He was just all all sorts. Everybody, you wish you could have heard him before the race started. He was not really liking how the car was handling in the practice, and just like you aforementioned, Brian, just a second ago, it seems like he has got it all dialed in. He has figured it out, and he has opened that gap up. Brandon Moore, though, yes, he does. Ooh. So you're saying we might run out of fuel? Nice. Nice. I think, you should give them 15% more gas next season. That's just my personal opinion. Not quite. I don't I don't I don't like 75%. I think that's almost too much. I think 65. I think that might be a good number. Maybe 70, but like, can you do like just every percent? Can you do like 72, 71? That, well, why don't we just do something like that? Make it interesting. We don't have to make it rounded off to the nearest fifth. Yes, it's all made up by the commentators. Ha 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 ha. I'm kidding. Not at all. That is not. That's terrible. Yes, we scripted everything. We know who's going to win. Not at all. Um, Hopefully we got somebody to laugh out there. Um, Jacob Carter, though, man, Brandon Moore finally reeling him in. He had a 5-second lead, but Brandon Moore has taken a big chunk of that away. Don't know if Jacob Carter has just don't like the handling here late in the going, or maybe he's trying to save a little bit. If that's the case, should have done that a long time ago. Sigston and Huntsacker right there, just about with one another. I say that, and they're not at all. I mean, they kind of are, but they're kind of not at the same time. That great battle still going on between King and Junior towards the rear of the field. Well, not necessarily rear, just towards the people who are lapped down or who are struggling to be. Man, I can't get the right phrase I want. But anyway, yes, King and Junior having a great battle back there for, at the moment, 9th position. Schaefer out of the race now. 6 cars out of the race. Well, anywhere between 17 to 21. So, I mean, anything is possible here. Along with Skylar Sixton, Stanley Jr., Ernest King. Those 4 have yet to make a pit stop. Excuse me. I think he might have. I think Moore might have beat. No, he didn't. Jacob still had a decent enough lead coming into the pits that he didn't really lose that much. Ernest King now going longer than Sigston. So maybe, just maybe, everybody runs out of fuel and Ernest King wins this race. He probably just topped off on gas to right side some gas. That's another penny in the piggy bank there, Brad. I think he for sure has enough to go the distance now. So he wanted to make sure he is safe and secure. And if these guys, these front runners, are going to be pushing it to the max, which, I mean, you normally probably want to stay out front, right? So anyway, if they're going to be pushing it, whether it be hard or give it all that 100%, then Ernest really hoping that everybody going to run out. Yeah, it's possibly so. Sorry, there's only one more in tonight's race. What are you watching? What are you talking about? Ozzy's gonna be performing or something? What is this? It's just week one? I didn't know it was so special to have a performance for. Man, what is this world came to? Yes, we only get told what we get told by the drivers, so we do our best. No, you know, something happens. They find a wall or another competitor. One of the two. Whichever comes first. Well, if Brandon Moore gets to him, getting there and passing, two completely different things. Wonder how much fight Carter will have left in him and how much he's been trying to save. Then Brandon Moore. That could be another question. Coming to 10 laps to go. Coming off of turn 4 this time by. That's what it would seem to appear from my trained eye. Well, it's either that way or Jacob Carter just sandbagged a whole lot. I mean, why else would you give up the lead unless you needed to save? There is Sanchez coming into the pits. Maybe he couldn't do the math. Or maybe his strategy was just a little bit off. One of the two. Well, Carter keeping that gap to 0.6 of a second, 0.7 of a second. Now dropping a little bit further as I open my mouth to speak about it. Skylar Sigston holding a good station in that third position with the bold strategy he is on. Just as I said that wrong, it's got by. Are there? Yes, I'm not too sure why we're focused back here when there's a battle going on for third place, but it's okay, man. Aha! Now we get to see. Look at that. Wonderful. The two blue cars at it again. Rongich trying to apply a lot of pressure to the 57. Yep, Carter has really fallen off of the pace of Brandon Moore. He possibly just having to save a lot more fuel. Definitely not able to go the distance. If he is, he's going to be saving a lot here. As this nice battle going on for third place here between Rongich and Sigston. Rongich going to try to get him back on the outside, but not able to. Can't get the momentum off the corner. Sixton has him cleared, so he comes up to somewhat defend the position. Man, 3 laps to go. This race kind of blew by, Brian. Yes, very fluctuating interval from first and second. 2 laps remaining, though. Brandon Moore. Don't want to say he has it in the bag just yet, because a lot can happen from here to now, until we see the white flag at least. He's opened up a 3-second gap over Jacob Carter since he last saw him. Philip Bridgman finally back out there, but not going to be able to gain a position. Final lap in the air. White flag is out for Brandon Moore and everybody else. But as we can see, Brandon Moore really pedaling out of the throttle, just letting it glide. Long ride down the back straightaway. Seems like he's most certainly going to have enough gas. No doubt about it. And he's even got a comfortable buffer in case anything was to go awry coming off of turn 4. It is going to be Brandon Moore getting another win on the season here at Auto Club. Jacob Carter finishes second, with Skylar Sixton able to hold off Zachary Rongich. So Skylar Sixton with some bold strategy, basically taking 2 tires there towards the end, and just enough gas. Oh, we got some fireworks going off on the back straightaway. Nice. Yep, just once Brandon Moore got into rhythm, didn't really seem like anyone was able to compete or compare with Brandon Moore. Jacob Carter seemed to have a good short to medium run car, but just couldn't seem to have the long run necessity that you need. Skylar Sixton with that trippy strategy. Race somewhat dominated here by Brandon Moore. He qualified on the pole, led a good majority of the race, and only had 1 caution. As you see the race results there, presented by TrackCams22.com. Good software for camera spectating, extra cameras for your iRacing necessities. Well, he had just enough gas to do a little victory celebration there, and hey man, all the gas you need.
Yeah. Alright.
Hey Brandon.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, so talking to you before the race, you sounded pretty confident. You got the pole. You led a bunch of laps here tonight in this 200 miler. Just tell us about how the car felt and just how confident you were in putting that car pretty much anywhere you needed tonight.
The car felt really good. I really enjoy this racetrack. It's one of my favorites, and with these race cars having a looser feel, it just suits me. So it was fun.
Give us your thoughts. We only had one caution. Probably could have, should have had two, but iRacing was like, nah, they gathered it up, keep going. So, really, one caution of the night overall. What did you think of the overall racing tonight? I thought it looked very spectacular. Lots of racing all around, Brandon.
Yeah, we had a lot of good racing all around the racetrack. We had some three wide. We had some pushing down the stretches, and everybody run real clean, and it was just an overall good race. Want to thank everybody for putting on a good show for the folks at home.
Well, what else would you have to add about tonight's race, or maybe what you're looking forward to next week, or maybe give some shout outs there, Brandon?
I'm just tickled to get this Sun Drop Dale Jr. paint scheme in Victory Lane. Do it for Dale. That's what I'm excited about. And then I'm glad this kind of locks us in into some playoffs there as well. So that's a added bonus. So uh, yes. So this is kind of one of those. Shoo! Glad I don't have to worry about that.
Explain to the fans at home or the listeners listening at home just uh, how much pressure that takes off somebody whenever they can get a win and lock themselves into a next round. Just explain how
Oh,
much of a burden that is off.
it just means the world because I mean, not having to worry about where you're going to finish, in the next couple races. I mean, it just a lot of stress off of you because all these guys out here are fast, and we're always racing around the same fast guys week in week out, and then the guy that makes one mistake and everybody else is top five. I mean, it could point you out real quick.
Well, Brandon, congratulations on the win.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been
And
looking forward to putting a car in victory lane here again. It took a little while, but we got there.
yeah, you did.
But as far as anything else, I just want to again thank you and Brian for always doing a fantastic job in the booth. Y'all do a good job. Want to thank all the competitors again for running a clean race, and uh, want to thank all the viewers for come out to watch it. And it's just been a good night. It's any night you can win you one is a good night.
Indeed. I can always agree with that.
Oh boy, whew, that's gonna be a doozy. That's gonna be a doozy. So my thoughts on that is whoever can keep the nose clean and not die has a good chance of winning that race. All right, that sounds good, gentlemen. Y'all have a great night.
Hey, nope, definitely not. Huh? Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Well, it seemed like you had a good short to mid-range pace car. The long run seemed to really kill you there, Jacob. And were you just were you gonna run out of gas? Is that why you had to back up your pace so much?
No, definitely not.
Uh,
Um,
uh,
we had we had gas to make it to the end, and before we came in for the last pit stop, I was coming out of four, and it got tight and hit the wall. So when I hit the wall, it gave us some aero damage, and so it was good, but I wasn't trying to save nothing. I was trying to actually run away, but the car was just so sluggish it wasn't going nowhere.
gotcha. Um,
Yep. No, I didn't hit the wall. I slapped the wall. Yeah. So if I hit it, it would probably be a little bit different story. I might have kept him back there a little bit more, but no, I killed the right front of it. So, but yeah, ain't that a boof moment? You know, boof it on the last pit stop. Yes.
um, next week is Martinsville. You said, Brian? Oh,
Ah,
Bristol.
that's even worse.
Okay. Well, next week is Bristol. How do you feel about that? And what do you think? Um, just the rest of the run of the championship will be for you.
Well, I didn't know Bristol was coming up that fast. That's kind of crazy. Um, keep my nose clean. That's for sure. And stay out of people's way. They like to wreck everybody. So I mean, it's Bristol. You can't really have any positive energy going into that because 9 times out of 10, anybody that you talk to about Bristol, they're probably gonna get the same answer I'm gonna give you. It's gonna be a wreck fest, but we're gonna get through it.
Yes, I kind of have to agree with you on that one. Um, so anything else you'd like to add about tonight's race? I thought the racing was pretty good. What did you think about the racing tonight?
It was actually pretty decent. Everybody kept their nose clean. Everybody gave each other lines. It's um, I know early in the run, I got side drafted out of nowhere, and it got me tight, and I hit the wall once. And so we came back in pit road and redid it, and then we hit the wall by ourselves. So tough luck, but all in all, racing. It was a racing deal. Um, everybody did a great job. I didn't have no problems with anybody, and except for Brandon. I'm just kidding. Um, Brandon, Kyle, Skylar, Zach, both Zachs. I mean, all of them had a heck of a run. I just hate to hear Kyle, getting a speeding penalty. And then that ruined his race, but it happens. You can't speed. Oh yeah, I love the back. It felt better. Felt better up front than in traffic. I'll tell you what. Mm. Um, what I could do is when I got into clean air, it would kind of arc itself instead of getting tight, and you have to arc it yourself. So it was more like a people around you, it's tighter, and then once you're out in the free, it's kind of looser. So
Oh no, not at all. He answered everything
yeah,
we were looking
just
forward to hear.
thank y'all for putting on a show, and thank my wife still dealing with my shenanigans, dealing with my shenanigans and cussing and raging. Wow.
What up? I tried. Hmm? Oh no, I can on the stream. Yeah, because I I heard Jacob over there, and then I was like, who is he talking to?
There we go. We're back. Oh, yes. So this
Oh,
whole
awesome.
time you didn't hear me. Well, that's good. That's good. Anyway, Will, go ahead.
How long have we not been being heard?
You would be
Uh,
here. You would be here because
yeah, I heard
you.
Will.
Yeah. So you probably didn't hear me. So that's all right.
Wow, so I was basically talking to myself that entire broadcast. Anyway, that's great playback. That's rewatchable tenfold. Skylar, you just seem to always have some great strategy in hand to get you a good finish. Never the result. As far as winning, it seems that the strategy can always play out to be a winning one. But a top five, top three tonight, nevertheless, just didn't seem to have the outright pace to be able to match with Brandon Moore tonight. But um, like I said, you did try some different types of strategy, going longer, and I believe some right side tires with your gas. So just tell us about how you thought the racing went tonight, and also give us some insight about what you were thinking with your strategy wise.
Strategy wise, I was trying to go conservative this whole time. The long runs and everything. Um, shoot, I think lap 40 was our first caution.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I was avoiding it, and I spun out and hit the inside barrier. So there went my quick fix for the race. So the whole race, I was just, all right,
Being
gotta keep it
super
out of the
cautious.
wall. Yeah, but be in position and run aggressive when you can and make a pass. So it was trying not to run the tires out much. Use what I can, but be smart. And it was pretty good racing. You know, everyone was definitely had my close calls, but uh, good racing from everybody. It was. I love Auto Club. Auto Club's one of my favorite tracks. This track and Michigan are my two favorite tracks. So kind of similar. This one is just a little more bumpy, but kind of same mentality every time I hit these tracks. Just back up. I like to ease into the turn, but slow in, fast out. That's how I like to think of these tracks. So that was my strategy, and it seemed to work out, especially with the two tire calls. Um, yeah, that's been my race.
Well, Skylar, got any? If you're going to be here next week for Bristol, what's your ideas and plans about Bristol next week?
Brist.
Yes, sir.
I haven't actually ran Xfinity at Bristol. I've only ran trucks and cup car there. Um, should be interesting. If I run, just try to keep it clean, stay out of everybody's mess. Um, keep the car under control and just run. I'm not gonna. I usually try to go to these short tracks and just run the car, truck, whatever it is, as best as I can. If I'm fast, I'm fast. If I'm slow, I'm slow. But just kind of hope that everybody takes each other out. And just kind of be in the right position at the right time.
Well, that's always a lot of good thinking sometimes, nevertheless. Got any shout outs or anything you'd like to give there, Skylar?
You guys put on a good show, constant good show. Uh, put in a race for everybody. Good job, y'all. Anybody
Well,
else watching out there to continue to support y'all's channel? And this is what makes the league kind of thrive. Makes everybody want to rewatch the streams and do everything again. So it makes racing fun.
indeed, I appreciate it, and I'm sure Brian does as well. And watching you guys race is pretty exciting, nevertheless. So, best of luck to you next week if you're here. And Congratulations on the good run tonight there, Skyler. Well deserved.
Appreciate it. Awesome. No, thank you. Hopefully one of these days I'll
Get it
finally
done.
find the magic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, maybe we can find that magic on Sundays. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I think it's pit stops. I think I gotta work on my pit stops
Mm-hmm.
more than anything.
Oh yeah. Right on. Right on.
All right,
Yeah.
y'all.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Well, go on.
All right. Well,
You might as well because
Brian
your
Hunt-
voice was heard the whole time. So.
Well, for Brian Huntley, myself, William Roberts, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Always enjoyable getting to call any race as possible, especially these BNR guys. They are really great. 40 laps caution free. Then they had that one caution, and it's like they never had one. Went caution free the rest of the race, I do believe. Anyway, great racing all the way around tonight. So we'll be back again tomorrow night for the SRU Truck Series. And until then, we would like to hope everybody has a good night and